Freedom. It sings to the human spirit, a deeply cherished ideal we all understand. The power to choose our own path, to live without oppression. Breaking chains, real or metaphorical. This yearning for autonomy is fundamental, celebrated in stories, songs, and narratives. Consider the moment someone exclaims, "I'm free." What does this declaration convey? Escaping a draining job, ending a relationship that felt like a cage. A student, exams completed, gazing at summer, words of immense relief, a palpable lightness. Burdens fall away like unlocked shackles. New possibilities unfold before hopeful eyes. Modern life presents a curious, often confusing paradox regarding liberty. It offers an abundance of apparent freedoms, choices everywhere we look. Yet it simultaneously weaves its own intricate web of subtle constraints. These are not the iron bars or armed sentinels of a bygone era. Instead, they are insidious pressures, often ones we internalize without noticing. Systems upon which we become deeply, sometimes uncomfortably, dependent. Consider the relentless pace of the contemporary workplace, its constant demands, the gnawing need to earn more, consume more, and keep up appearances. These powerful forces can dictate our daily schedules, our significant life choices. They can even shape the very nature of our dreams and aspirations. Are we truly making autonomous choices, acting on our own free will? Or are we merely reacting to the incessant demands of a pervasive system? A system perhaps designed to keep us perpetually striving, never quite content. Let us examine the role of our complex economic systems in this dynamic. In our modern lives, stress is often a constant companion. It is like a background hum, always there, low and persistent. Sometimes it grows louder, a roaring wave threatening to overwhelm. This anxiety is not always tied to a single dramatic event. More often, it is the accumulation of many smaller pressures. The daily grind, the endless to-do lists, the unspoken expectations. This constant tension shapes our experience of the world profoundly. Modern society bombards us with choices. We choose our careers, our homes, even our coffee. Yet, these choices can become sources of stress. The fear of missing out drives many decisions. We are always on, connected to work and social demands. This constant connectivity feels like an invisible tether. Information overload leads to mental fatigue. Self-optimization becomes another task. This internalized pressure contributes to our stress. Are we making choices from freedom or necessity? Chronic stress profoundly impacts our capacity for joy. It dulls our appreciation for simple pleasures. When the mind races with worries, it's hard to be present. Spontaneity withers when every moment is scheduled. The world seems grey and threatening, not full of wonder. Laughter comes less easily, and connection feels difficult. Our inner world constricts under stress. Stress narrows our mental horizon. We fixate on managing immediate problems. Little space remains for dreaming or long-term planning. We're too busy treading water to see the shore. This tunnel vision locks us into existing patterns. It prevents us from exploring paths to greater freedom. We run faster, putting in enormous effort daily. Yet, we often feel no closer to true fulfillment. We often celebrate the freedom to choose our employer. We research companies, prepare for interviews, negotiate terms. It seems we are in the driver's seat, steering our career. But let us pause and consider this transaction more deeply. While we choose who to work for, the need to work remains. For most, survival necessitates selling our time and skills. This frames the entire choice we make. We are choosing which entity will direct a significant portion of our lives. It is, in essence, selecting the terms of our service. The modern workplace still operates on a hierarchy. There is an employer and there is an employee. We agree to follow directions, meet targets, and adhere to company culture. This is the trade, our compliance and effort for a salary. The freedom to switch employers is valuable. It offers an escape from a toxic environment or a dead-end role. Yet, each new choice often leads to a similar dynamic. A new set of expectations, a different manager. But the core exchange persists. We are free to pick our master, but a master still exists. Our time, our most precious asset, is largely not our own during work hours. The illusion is that this choice equates to full autonomy. We convince ourselves that because we picked this job, we are entirely free. However, the parameters of that job are often rigidly defined. Our tasks, our schedules, even our dress code can be dictated. The pressure to perform, to conform, to be constantly available. These are subtle controls woven into the fabric of employment. We might be managed more gently than in past eras of labor. But management, however benign, is still a form of control. Consider the language we use. Job market, human resources. People become commodities. Resources to be allocated and managed. Our creativity and passion are channeled towards corporate goals. Goals which may or may not align with our deepest personal values. The choice of employer, then, is a choice of which system to serve. It is a selection of which master's objectives we will help fulfill. This is not to diminish the importance of good work or fair employers, but it is crucial to see the structure for what it is. A system where our time is rented, not truly reclaimed for ourselves. The freedom here is conditional, operating within set confines. Another powerful illusion of freedom comes from our role as consumers. We live in an age of unprecedented material abundance. The choice of products and services seems almost infinite. We can buy what we want, when we want. This ability to acquire feels like a direct expression of liberty. I earned this money. I can choose to spend it on this thing. This narrative is heavily promoted by marketing and societal norms. The pursuit of the latest gadget, the fashionable item, the bigger house. These become symbols of success and, by extension, of freedom. However, this freedom to consume often creates its own subtle bonds. The desire for more can lead to a cycle of working more. We need higher incomes to afford the lifestyle we are told to want. Credit and debt become common tools to acquire things now. This creates obligations that stretch far into the future. We become tied to our jobs not just for survival, but to service debt. The things we own can, in a strange way, begin to own us. The maintenance, the worry, the need to protect our possessions. This adds another layer of pressure to our already stressed lives. Marketing plays a crucial role in shaping these desires. It expertly creates needs we didn't know we had. It links products to happiness, to status, to a sense of belonging. Our choices as consumers are rarely made in a vacuum. They are influenced by powerful psychological triggers and social pressures. The freedom to choose between brands is not the same as freedom from want, or freedom from the manufactured desire that fuels constant acquisition. We are encouraged to find our identity in what we buy. This can distract us from seeking fulfillment in less material ways. So, while we exercise choice in the marketplace, what is its true nature? Are we freely expressing our authentic selves through our purchases, or are we responding to sophisticated campaigns designed to guide our spending? The economic system relies on this constant consumption to function. Our role as eager consumers is essential to its continuation. This freedom to buy can become another master we serve, a master that demands our financial resources and, indirectly, our time. The pleasure of a new purchase is often fleeting, but the obligation to pay for it and the drive to acquire more endures. Managed paths, the comfort of controlled choices. The systems we live within offer a sense of order. They provide frameworks for our careers, finances, and social lives. These options give us a feeling of control over our destiny. It is a comfortable arrangement for many. The paths are clear, the expectations understandable. This is far removed from overt tyranny or chaotic uncertainty. The paradox is that these managed choices can limit deeper freedom. We focus on making the best choices from the available options. Rarely do we question the options themselves. True autonomy might lie outside these well-managed territories, but venturing out requires courage and a willingness to face uncertainty. The daily commute. A ritual of lost time. Consider the daily commute, a ritual for millions. Each morning and evening, we undertake this journey. To and from work, trading our time. It is a common thread in modern working life. An accepted part of the routine. We wake, prepare, and join the collective movement. A river of cars, a network of trains. This daily migration consumes our precious hours. Hours not spent working nor truly living, spent in transit, in limbo between places, often far from pleasant or restful. Crowded trains, where personal space is a luxury. Frustrating traffic jams, inching forward. The stress of delays, the anxiety of being late. These experiences chip away at our patience. We might try to use this time productively, or seek distraction in music or podcasts. But the reality is one of constraint. Confined to a vehicle, a schedule not our own. This daily grind impacts our well-being. Time spent commuting is irretrievably lost. An hour, 2 hours, consumed each working day. Time that cannot be spent with loved ones or hobbies. It cannot be used for rest or personal growth, simply surrendered to reaching a specific location, where we spend more hours working for others. This daily sacrifice of time is profound. It shapes our days, leaving less room for spontaneity. The boundaries of our freedom are drawn by this need. We are tethered by the length of our commute. Is this daily pilgrimage truly a free choice, or a consequence of a system that centralizes work? A system that requires our physical presence. We may choose our job and thus our commute, but commuting is a normal price to pay, a price for employment, for income. This acceptance of lost time warrants inspection. Is it an unavoidable reality or a systemic inefficiency? This daily constraint erodes our autonomy. It reminds us that our time is not entirely our own. The siren call of the smartphone, our digital leash. The smartphone, our constant companion in the modern age. It connects us to a world of information, instant communication, navigation, entertainment, and more. We feel its absence keenly, a sense of being disconnected, an indispensable tool for work, social life, and daily tasks. Many cannot imagine a day without it. Convenience at our fingertips. Yet, it acts as a subtle, pervasive constraint. A digital leash that keeps us perpetually tethered, shaping our attention, thoughts, and interactions. The allure of the smartphone is powerful, often verging on addictive. The constant stream of notifications beckons. Each ping or buzz creates an urge to check. Social media platforms capture and hold our attention. Endless scrolling can consume hours. We reach for it in moments of quiet or boredom. This habitual checking fragments our focus. Our minds become accustomed to constant stimuli. The freedom to connect becomes a compulsion to stay connected. A compulsion that dictates how we spend our moments. This digital tether impacts our real-world presence. How often do we see people engrossed in their phones in social settings? Families at dinner tables, each lost in their own screen. Friends meeting up, yet their attention divided by digital demands. The richness of direct human interaction can be diluted. We are physically present, but our minds are often elsewhere. This constant distraction erodes our ability to be fully engaged with our surroundings, with the people around us, with ourselves. The freedom our phones offer can paradoxically limit our freedom to connect. Connect deeply and meaningfully in the tangible world around us. Our smartphones represent a modern paradox of liberty. They offer unparalleled access and connection. Yet they also exert a powerful pull, demanding our time and focus. This pull can feel less like a choice and more like an obligation to respond, to keep up, to remain constantly available. This subtle form of control can diminish our mental autonomy. It shapes our habits, our attention spans, and even our moods. Are we truly in command of this technology, or is it, in some ways, commanding us? The freedom it promises must be weighed against the attention it claims. A claim that can feel like a gentle yet persistent form of servitude. Our daily lives are often governed by the relentless march of the clock. Schedules dictate when we wake, work, eat, and rest. Appointments, meetings, deadlines fill our calendars. This structured approach helps us organize our complex lives. However, this adherence to schedules can feel constricting. A form of tyranny where the clock becomes an unyielding master. There is little room for unscheduled moments, for simply being. The ability to reclaim moments of unhurried existence. This becomes a small act of rebellion against the tyranny of the schedule. Choices made outside the rigid confines of a pre-filled calendar. Beyond the tangible constraints of commutes and clocks, there are others. These are the hidden scripts, the unwritten rules of society. The powerful, yet often invisible, norms and expectations that shape us. They dictate what is considered a successful life, a normal path. Education, career progression, home ownership, marriage, family. These milestones are presented as desirable, almost mandatory achievements. We internalize these scripts from a young age through various channels. Family, media, education, and social interactions all reinforce them. They become the default settings for our aspirations and life choices, guiding our decisions in ways we may not even consciously recognize. These societal expectations can exert a strong, subtle pressure. There is an implicit understanding of how one should live, how one should look, what one should own, how one should behave. Deviating from these norms, can lead to social friction or questioning. Why aren't you married yet? When are you buying a house? These questions, though often well-intentioned, reinforce the script. The desire for acceptance and belonging can make us conform, even if that conformity means sacrificing personal desires or unique paths. The freedom to choose is often exercised within these prescribed boundaries. We choose which version of the accepted script to follow. Consider the pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle or appearance. The right clothes, the latest tech, the socially acceptable hobbies. These can become markers of status and belonging, but also burdens. The financial and mental energy required to keep up can be significant. This pursuit of a prescribed image limits our resources that could be used for more authentic expressions of self. Are these choices truly free? Or are they driven by a need to fit in? A need to meet the unstated requirements of our social circles. The hidden script tells us that our value is tied to these external markers. A subtle but powerful constraint on our inner sense of worth and freedom. These daily, often mundane, constraints accumulate over time. The commute, the phone, the schedule, the societal expectations. Each one, on its own, might seem manageable, a small compromise. But together, they weave a complex web of gentle control. They chip away at our autonomy, our time, our mental space. They guide our choices, often towards paths that serve the system, a system that thrives on our predictable behavior and consumption. This makes us pause and reflect on our confident declarations of "I'm free." Are we truly directing our own lives, charting our own unique courses? Or are we actors playing out roles in a play written by unseen hands? We often speak of money as our most valuable asset. But there is another currency, far more precious and strictly finite. This, of course, is our time, the very fabric of our lives. Each second that passes is a second we cannot get back. Unlike money, it cannot be earned, borrowed, or stored for later. It simply flows, relentless and impartial, for everyone. This understanding is crucial when we discuss genuine freedom. How can we be truly free if this core resource is not our own? Modern life has conditioned us to view time as a commodity, something to be sold to an employer in exchange for wages. We spend time, save time, or waste time like it is money. This transactional view obscures its deeper existential value. Our time is not just a series of empty slots to be filled efficiently. It is the space in which we experience joy, love, growth, and sorrow. When we trade it away too readily, what are we truly giving up? The consequence of this commodification is a widespread feeling of time poverty. Many of us feel perpetually rushed, constantly behind schedule. This scarcity is not always a natural state. Often it is manufactured. Reclaiming our time begins with a fundamental shift in perspective. The power to decide how this precious currency of life is truly spent. Section 2. Breaking the Chains of Busyness. Steps to reclaim your hours. The modern world often glorifies relentless busyness. We wear our packed schedules like badges of honor. This cultural narrative can be incredibly difficult to resist. It pressures us to fill every moment, to always be doing something. But this cult of busyness is a significant barrier to reclaiming time. It keeps us on a treadmill, chasing an ever-receding horizon of completion. We must first challenge this notion that a full life is a frantic life. A truly rich life often has space, stillness, and unhurried moments. Reclaiming our hours requires conscious effort and deliberate choices. It means learning to say no more often, a powerful act. No to commitments that do not align with our priorities or values. Setting clear boundaries between work and personal life is essential. Protecting our evenings, our weekends, our moments of rest. It involves critically examining our existing commitments and routines. Sometimes the most liberating act is to subtract, not to add. We also need to redefine what productivity truly means to us. Is it merely about ticking off tasks and being constantly active? Or is it about achieving things that hold genuine meaning and value? By breaking these chains of habitual busyness and digital distraction, we begin to carve out the hours needed to live more freely. Section 3. True Freedom. Living authentically, time reclaimed. True freedom extends beyond leisure time. It is about genuine agency over our hours, the power to decide how our time is invested. Autonomy, to direct our days according to our values. Not solely by employer or societal pressures. Pursue passions, learn, grow, and connect deeply. Reclaimed time is the canvas for an authentic life. Section 1. The Echo of Chains. A modern reflection. We began this journey questioning the nature of our proclaimed freedom. Modern life offers many liberties on the surface, yet subtle constraints often shape our existence. These are not the overt shackles of history. The gentle hum of a system guides us, often without our full awareness. It asks us to reconsider what it truly means to be autonomous. Section 2. Forging our own keys. The journey to true liberty. Recognizing these subtle constraints is not an end point, but a beginning. It is the crucial first step towards a more authentic form of freedom. True liberty is not a gift bestowed by any system or external authority. It is a state of being that we must actively cultivate and pursue ourselves.